In the news today, the Division of Developmental Disabilities is introducing individuals and families to the DDD Assessment. I'm Ed Holen, and you're watching DDTV. We bring you the news and information that affect your life. Speaking at a meeting of regional administrators earlier today, Linda Rolfe, the director of the Division of Developmental Disabilities, explained that the DDD Assessment looks at individuals' potentials rather than their deficiencies.
Every day, people with developmental disabilities face people who underestimate them. And we didn't want an assessment instrument that reinforced that. We wanted an instrument that reinforced that people can learn and grow with proper support. And the assessment instrument is going to give us the opportunity to do that. It's going to be able to tell us what people need in order to live their lives as part of their community and contribute to their community in the same way that the typical person in the community does.
And at a recent meeting of the group Self-Advocates in Leadership, people from around the state shared their feelings about the DDD assessment with our reporter, Emily Rogers.
I'm glad it's different. I'm sick of people talking about things that I can't do.
If it helps DDD get a picture who's out there, that would be great.
It sounds good to me.
I like the fact that it looks at me like I'm a real person, not just a couch potato who sits around all day being taken care of.
Not only is the DDD assessment based on the belief that individuals can succeed in their everyday lives, it also gives a comprehensive view of the support needs across the state. This is good because it helps the state plan for services in the future. The DDD assessment is a three-step process. Step number 1 is the support assessment. This identifies what supports you need. Step 2 is the service level assessment. This determines how much support you need if you're approved for services. And step 3 is the individual support plan. This outlines how support will be provided. There is a support assessment specifically designed to measure the needs of children. And for individuals 16 and older, part of the first step in the DDD assessment is the Support Intensity Scale, or the SIS. The SIS is used to accurately measure support needs. When you take the DDD assessment depends on a variety of factors. If you currently receive DDD services, you will take the DDD assessment at the time of your annual assessment or on another date agreed upon by you and your case resource manager. If your support needs change, if you have just applied for services, or if you have been waiting for services, your case resource manager will get to you as soon as possible. The first step of the DDD assessment, the support assessment, takes about 2 hours to complete. It is conducted in your home with your case resource manager, who will enter your answers into a computer.
Matt, I'm going to ask you several questions about your life so that we can see what kind of supports you need to be as independent as possible.
How's that different from what I'm used to?
It's different because we're not going to look at what you can't do for yourself. It's about giving you the support you need so that you can do things now and in the future.
Will you want me to answer any questions?
There are about 6 questions that I'll be asking the caregiver, and if Matt wants, he can ask you for help to answer the rest of the questions.
I can answer for myself.
Sometimes I'll ask your mom if there's anything else she'd like to add. Is that okay?
Sure.
Sometimes some of the questions may seem personal. It's important for both of you to know that all of this information that you're sharing is confidential and it won't be shared with anyone outside of your individual treatment team.
The first step of the DDD assessment gets at the type, frequency, and duration of support you need to accomplish a variety of tasks in various settings. Your case resource manager will ask questions about your home life, community, activities, health and safety, behavior issues, employment, protection and advocacy, and caregiver needs.
Can you give an example of a question you'll ask?
Sure. Let's practice so you both can have a sense of how this works. I'll ask you a question about an activity in your daily life. For example, Matt, what support do you need to be successful in taking care of your clothes? This includes supports needed for washing and drying them, ironing, sewing, folding clothes, hanging clothes in your closet, or putting them away in your dresser. So Matt, can you wash your clothes?
Yeah.
Do you need any help?
You and your case resource manager will use a rating scale to help identify scores for type of support, frequency of support, and the amount of time support is needed daily, weekly, or monthly.
It sounds like your type of support score is a 3, partial physical assistance.
That sounds about right. He does really well with the laundry and taking care of his clothes, and I help him get the wash started and with ironing and sewing.
If a question is about an activity you don't currently participate in, it is still important to think about the support you would need to do it. Once your support assessment results are scored and services are approved, you'll move on to the second step of the DDD assessment, the service level assessment. It identifies levels of need for approved services. The Individual Support Plan, or ISP, is the third and final step in the assessment process. This is a written plan that outlines how support will be provided. If the support assessment shows that an individual doesn't need support services, or if the funding is not available, a summary of the DDD assessment results is sent to the individual within 30 days. He or she is then placed on the non-paid services caseload. In this case, the DDD assessment ends without going on to the second and third steps. The DDD assessment gives a more complete picture of each individual and helps the state plan for services in the future. Best of all, the DDD assessment is fair. Everyone is asked the same questions and everyone's answers are measured the same way. The DDD assessment gives the Division of Developmental Disabilities a consistent way to determine all of the needs of all of its clients.
Thank you, Emily. I'd like to welcome to our studio Janet Adams from the Division of Developmental Disabilities.
Hi, Ed. Thanks for inviting me.
Janet, we hope that you can clear up some questions for us about the DDD assessment.
You know, I'll do my best.
Why was the DDD assessment created in the first place?
We developed the DDD assessment because both our federal funders and our state funders required that we have an assessment that looked at all of people's support needs.
What if somebody doesn't want to take the DDD assessment?
It's required by law that there be an assessment before we can provide services. So it's going to be necessary for people to have it. If they don't want to have it, then the case manager will talk with them about what that means and help them understand their appeal rights.
What if someone's needs change after they take the assessment?
By all means, they should call their case manager. If it's a significant change, a new assessment will be done to update whatever it is that needs to be changed for them.
Janet, what's the benefit of taking the DDD assessment?
Ed, I think there are 3 really important benefits. The first is it provides the first comprehensive picture of the individual that DD's ever really had. Secondly, that same picture will be produced across the state for everybody, so it will be fair and equitable. And thirdly, it provides information for the division, the legislature, and for advocates to have in planning for the future of people with developmental disabilities.
And what should someone do if they have more questions?
Well, they can always ask their case manager or his or her supervisor, and then the advocates also stand ready to help them.
Thank you, Janet. We hope that you come back soon with more information and news.
Anytime, Ed.
And thank you for watching this edition of DDTV, your most trusted source of news and information that affect your life.